The Awakening. The starship Nebula Horizon hums silently in Earth's orbit, its sleek hull gleaming in the reflected sunlight. Inside the vessel's command center, Dr. Ilara Chen paced nervously, her eyes darting between holographic displays filled with complex equations and simulations. The ship's AI, AOIA, monitored her vital signs with growing concern. Dr. Chen, your heart rate is elevated. Perhaps you should rest before the test, AOIA suggested, her voice soothing yet firm. Ilara shook her head, her long black hair swaying with the movement. No time, AOIA. We're on the cusp of something revolutionary. If this works, she trailed off, her mind racing with the possibilities. Captain Marcus Reeves entered the command center, his weathered face a mask of determination. Dr. Chen, are we ready to proceed with the FTL test? Ilara nodded, her excitement palpable. Yes, Captain, all systems are go. If our calculations are correct, we're about to change the course of human history. Marcus raised an eyebrow. That's a bold statement, Doctor. Let's hope you're right. He turned to address the crew. All hands, prepare for FTL initiation. This is not a drill. The Nebula Horizon hummed to life, its experimental faster-than-light drive powering up for the first time. The ship's structural integrity field strained against the immense energies building within the drive core. FTL drive at 50% capacity, AOIA announced, her voice echoing through the ship's intercom. 60%, 70%. Ilara's fingers danced across the holographic controls, making minute adjustments to the drive's parameters. We're approaching the theoretical threshold for space-time manipulation, she muttered, more to herself than anyone else. 80%, 90%, AOIA continued. The ship began to vibrate, a low rumble that resonated through every deck. Warning lights flashed across the command center's displays, but Ilara ignored them, her focus unwavering. Dr. Chen, we're exceeding safety parameters, Marcus warned, his hand hovering over the emergency shutdown. Ilara's eyes blazed with determination. Trust me, Captain. We're almost there. FTL drive at 100% capacity, AOIA announced. For a moment, nothing happened. Then, reality itself seemed to bend around the nebula horizon. The stars outside the viewport stretched into brilliant streaks of light, and the ship lurched forward with impossible speed. We've done it, Ilara exclaimed, her voice filled with awe and triumph. We're traveling faster than light. The nebula horizon shot through space, covering vast distances in mere seconds. Entire star systems blurred past, indistinguishable in their speed. AOIA, status report. Marcus called out, gripping his chair tightly. We are currently traveling at approximately 100 times the speed of light, AOIA responded, her voice tinged with what almost sounded like excitement. All systems are functioning within acceptable parameters. Ilara's fingers flew across the controls once more. Initiating deceleration sequence. Brace for exit from FTL. The ship shuddered as it dropped out of faster-than-light travel, the stars around them snapping back into their familiar, stationary positions. A collective gasp echoed through the command center as they realized where they were. AOIA, confirm our location, Marcus ordered, his voice barely above a whisper. Confirmed, Captain. We are currently in orbit around Proxima Centauri, the nearest potentially habitable exoplanet to Earth, AOIA reported. We have traveled approximately 4.2 light-years in less than 5 minutes. The implications of what they had just achieved began to sink in. Humanity had conquered the vast distances of space. The galaxy, perhaps even the universe, was now within their reach. As the initial shock wore off, the command center erupted into cheers and congratulations. Ilara found herself swept up in a bear hug by Marcus, his usual stoic demeanor broken by a wide grin. You did it, Doctor, he said, releasing her. You've changed everything. Ilara smiled, but her mind was already racing ahead. This is just the beginning, Captain. We need to run more tests, refine the technology. And then we take humanity to the stars, Marcus finished for her. In the weeks that followed, news of the Nebula Horizon's groundbreaking achievement spread like wildfire through the scientific community and beyond. Governments and private corporations alike clamored for access to the revolutionary FTL technology. The possibilities seemed endless: colonization of distant worlds, mining of resource-rich asteroids, and the potential for first contact with alien civilizations. However, as the initial excitement began to wane, a new sentiment began to take hold among Earth's leaders: caution. Admiral Zhao Lin, head of the newly formed United Earth Space Command, called for a closed-door meeting with the world's top scientists and military strategists. In a secure underground facility beneath Geneva, he addressed the assembled group. "Ladies and gentlemen," Admiral Zhao began, his voice grave, "we stand at a crossroads. Dr. Chen's FTL drive has given us the keys to the cosmos, but we must consider the implications carefully." He activated a holographic display showing various scenarios of potential first contact situations. History has shown us that when a technologically superior civilization encounters a less advanced one, the results are often catastrophic for the latter. Murmurs of agreement rippled through the room. "We don't know what's out there," Deo continued. "Hostile alien species, spaceborne pathogens, or dangers we can't even imagine. I propose that we keep the FTL technology secret for now. We'll use it to explore and prepare, but we won't announce our presence to the galaxy until we're ready." Dr. Chen, seated in the front row, stood up. "Admiral, with all due respect, this technology could solve so many of humanity's problems. We could alleviate resource scarcity, combat climate change, unite our species under a common goal. Keeping it secret feels wrong." Zhao nodded, acknowledging her point. "I understand your concerns, Doctor, but consider this. What if we encounter a hostile alien species, one that sees our worlds as ripe for conquest? We need time to develop defenses, to establish colonies, to ensure the survival of our species." The room fell silent as the implications sank in. Finally, Marcus Reeves, now promoted to fleet commander, spoke up. "I agree with the Admiral. We need to proceed with caution, but we shouldn't just focus on defense. We should look for ways to use this technology creatively to give us an edge if we ever need it." Zhao smiled grimly. "Exactly, Commander. Which is why I'm proposing the formation of a new, top-secret division, Project Starburst. Its mission will be twofold: to explore and colonize nearby star systems in secret, and to develop innovative applications for the FTL technology." He turned to Dr. Chen. "Doctor, I want you to lead the research team. Your brilliant mind gave us this gift. Now I need you to help us use it to safeguard humanity's future." Ilara hesitated, torn between her desire for open scientific advancement and the sobering reality of the unknown dangers that might lurk among the stars. Finally, she nodded. "I'll do it, Admiral, but I hope that one day we can share this discovery with all of humanity." "As do I, Doctor," Jai replied. "But for now, we prepare in secret. We'll be the silent guardians of Earth, readying ourselves for whatever the universe might throw at us." As the meeting adjourned, Ilara couldn't shake the feeling that they were standing on the precipice of a new era. Humanity had taken its first real steps into the cosmic arena, but the true test was yet to come. Little did they know that far across the galaxy, another civilization had already taken notice of the curious species from the third planet of an unremarkable yellow star. The awakening of humanity had begun, and the stars themselves seemed to hold their breath in anticipation of what was to come. First contact gone wrong. 5 years had passed since the inception of Project Starburst. Humanity had made remarkable progress, establishing secret colonies on distant worlds and pushing the boundaries of FTL technology. The United Earth Space Command's stealth fleet, led by the flagship Nebula Horizon, had mapped dozens of star systems without detection. On the bridge of the Nebula Horizon, Fleet Commander Marcus Reeves stood before a holographic star map, his face illuminated by the soft blue glow. Dr. Elara Chen, now Chief Science Officer, studied the display intently. "We've detected unusual energy signatures in the Epsilon Eridani system," Elara reported, her fingers dancing across the holographic interface. "It doesn't match any natural phenomenon we've encountered." Marcus nodded, his expression grave. "Artificial origin." "Most likely," Elara confirmed. "RIS analysis suggests advanced technology, possibly FTL capable." The A's serene voice chimed in. "Correct, Dr. Chen. The energy patterns bear similarities to our own FTL drive, but with significant differences." Marcus took a deep breath. "Well, it seems the moment we've been preparing for has finally arrived. Set course for Epsilon Eridani, stealth systems at maximum." As the Nebula Horizon glided silently through the vast emptiness of space, tension mounted among the crew. They had trained for this moment, but the reality of potential first contact weighed heavily on everyone's minds. Upon reaching the outskirts of the Epsilon Eridani system, the ship's sensors detected a massive fleet of alien vessels in orbit around the system's fourth planet. The ships were sleek and predatory, their hulls adorned with strange bioluminescent patterns. "RIA analysis," Marcus ordered, his voice low and controlled. The A's response was immediate. "The alien fleet consists of approximately 200 vessels of varying sizes. Their technology appears to be significantly advanced, with energy readings surpassing our own capabilities by an estimated factor of 1.5. Elara's eyes widened. "They haven't detected us yet, thanks to our stealth systems. We should retreat and report back to Earth." Marcus nodded in agreement, but before he could give the order, alarms blared across the bridge. Aria's voice took on an urgent tone. "Warning. Multiple FTL signatures detected. Unknown vessels emerging from hyperspace." The view screen lit up as a dozen alien ships materialized around the Nebula Horizon, their weapons primed and ready. A harsh guttural voice crackled through the ship's communication systems, the words translated by Aria's advanced linguistics protocols. "Unidentified vessel, you have entered Zarkaf territory. Surrender immediately or be destroyed." Marcus straightened his uniform, his jaw set with determination. "This is Fleet Commander Marcus Reeves of the United Earth Space Command. We come in peace and mean no harm. We request diplomatic." His words were cut short as the alien vessels opened fire, their energy weapons slamming against the Nebula Horizon's shields with devastating force. "Evasive maneuvers," Marcus shouted. "Activate countermeasures and prepare the FTL drive." The ship lurched as it dodged another barrage of alien fire. Elara's fingers flew across her console, redirecting power to the shields and weapons systems. "Our stealth technology is compromised," she reported. "They must have detected our FTL signature when we arrived in the system." Marcus gritted his teeth. "RIA, send an emergency transmission to Earth. Inform them of first contact and hostile engagement." As the Nebula Horizon weaved through the onslaught of alien fire, Marcus made a difficult decision. "Dr. Chen, prepare the prototype FTL weapon. We may need to use it to escape." Elara's eyes widened. "But sir, it's untested in combat situations. The risks are less than certain destruction," Marcus finished. "Do it." With a nod, Elara began the activation sequence for the experimental weapon, a modified FTL drive designed to create localized areas of distorted space-time. The Zarkaf ships pressed their attack, their superior numbers and technology slowly overwhelming the Nebula Horizon's defenses. Hull breaches were reported on multiple decks, and the ship's energy reserves were rapidly depleting. "FTL weapon charged and ready," Elara announced, her voice tight with tension. Marcus took a deep breath. "Target the lead vessel and fire." A pulse of energy erupted from the Nebula Horizon, streaking towards the largest Zarkaf ship. For a moment, Nothing seemed to happen. Then space itself appeared to twist and contort around the alien vessel. The ship's hull buckled and warped, torn apart by the conflicting gravitational forces. The Zarkaf fleet reeled in shock as their flagship imploded, leaving behind nothing but scattered debris and a rapidly dissipating spatial distortion. Taking advantage of the confusion, Marcus barked out his next order: "Jump to FTL. Get us out of here." The Nebula Horizon's FTL drive roared to life, catapulting the battered ship away from the battlefield and into the safety of hyperspace. As the adrenaline of combat faded, the gravity of the situation settled over the bridge crew. "Status report," Marcus demanded, his voice hoarse. Aoia's calm tones belied the severity of her report. Hull integrity at 62%. Life support systems stable but strained. FTL drive operating at 80% efficiency due to battle damage. Estimated 43 casualties, with 67 crew members reporting injuries. Ilara slumped in her chair, the weight of their encounter pressing down on her. "We've made first contact, and it's gone about as badly as it could have." Marcus nodded grimly. "The Zarkaf are clearly expansionist and hostile. We need to get this information back to Earth immediately. The survival of our species may depend on it." As the Nebula Horizon limped back towards Earth, the crew couldn't shake the feeling that they had just ignited the fuse of an interstellar conflict. The successful use of the FTL weapon, while saving their lives, had revealed humanity's technological capabilities to a powerful and aggressive alien species. Back on Earth, Admiral Zhao Lin received the emergency transmission from the Nebula Horizon. His face grew ashen as he listened to Marcus' report of the encounter with the Zarkaf. "Activate Protocol Omega," Zhao ordered his staff. "Inform all off-world colonies to initiate blackout procedures. As of this moment, we are at war." As sirens began to wail across Earth's major cities, humanity faced a stark new reality. They were no longer alone in the universe, and their first cosmic neighbors were far from friendly. The race was on to prepare Earth's defenses and leverage their FTL technology in ways never before imagined. Little did they know, the creative use of their FTL drive as a weapon had caught the attention of not just the Zarkaf, but other spacefaring civilizations as well. The galaxy watched with bated breath as the upstart humans prepared to face off against the mighty Zarkaf Empire. The stage was set for a conflict that would reshape the balance of power among the stars, with humanity's ingenuity and determination about to be tested like never before. The ingenuity of desperation. The next 6 months saw humanity mobilizing on a scale unprecedented in its history. The existence of alien life, and the threat it posed, was revealed to the public, uniting Earth's nations under the banner of survival. Project Starburst's secret colonies became humanity's fallback plan, a safeguard against potential extinction. In a hardened bunker beneath the Rocky Mountains, Dr. Ilara Chen pored over holographic schematics, her eyes red-rimmed from lack of sleep. Around her, a team of Earth's brightest minds worked feverishly to develop new applications for FTL technology. "Dr. Chen," Aoia's voice emanated from a nearby console, "I've completed the simulations for Project Lightforge. The results are intriguing." Ilara's eyes lit up with a mix of excitement and trepidation. "Show me." A holographic display sprang to life, showcasing a modified version of the Nebula Horizon. The ship's FTL drive had been reconfigured, with additional emitters lining the hull. By creating a network of micro-FTL fields around the ship, Aoia explained, "We can generate a bubble of distorted space-time. Theoretically, this would allow us to redirect incoming enemy fire or even turn their weapons against them." Ilara nodded, her mind racing with the possibilities. "It's like a mirror made of warped space. Brilliant, Aoia. How soon can we implement this?" "With current resources, we could have a prototype ready for testing within 2 weeks," the AI responded. The conversation was interrupted as Fleet Commander Marcus Reeves strode into the room, his face grim. Doctor, we've just received word from our long-range scouts. A Zarkaf battle fleet has entered the solar system. They'll reach Earth in less than 72 hours. Ilara's blood ran cold. But we're not ready. Our defenses are all we've got, Marcus finished. We need to make our stand here, or humanity is finished. Tell me you've got something that can give us an edge. Ilara gestured to the holographic display. We have a theory, but it's untested. We'd be going into battle with experimental technology. Marcus's lips twisted into a wry smile. Sounds like business as usual for us, doesn't it? Get it done, Doctor. I'll inform Admiral Zeo that we're implementing Project Lightforge. As Marcus left, Ilara turned to her team. You heard the man. We've got 72 hours to turn theory into reality. Let's make it happen. The next 3 days were a blur of frantic activity. The nebula horizon, still bearing scars from its previous encounter with the Zarkaf, was fitted with the experimental Lightforge system, Earth's fledgling space fleet, a mix of hastily armed civilian ships and military prototypes, gathered in high orbit, preparing for humanity's first major space battle. Admiral Zhao Lin addressed the fleet from the bridge of the UES Defiant, his voice resonating through every ship's communication systems. Men and women of Earth, the moment of truth has arrived. Our enemy believes us to be primitive, easy prey for their empire. Today, we prove them wrong. Today, we show the galaxy that humanity will not go quietly into the night. For Earth. A chorus of cheers echoed across the fleet, quickly silenced as the first Zarkaf ships dropped out of FTL at the edge of the solar system. The alien armada was vast, dwarfing Earth's defenders in both size and number. On the bridge of the nebula horizon, Ilara stood beside Marcus, her hands hovering over the Lightforge controls. Remember, she cautioned, the system is untested in actual combat. We don't know how it will perform under stress. Marcus nodded grimly. Well, we're about to find out. All ships, assume defensive formations. Prepare to engage on my mark. The Zarkaf fleet advanced, their weapons charging. The lead ship fired a massive energy blast, aimed directly at the heart of Earth's defense line. Now, Doctor, Marcus shouted. Ilara activated the Lightforge system. The space around the nebula horizon shimmered and warped. The incoming Zarkaf blast struck the distorted area of space-time and curved, its trajectory bending impossibly before being redirected back at the alien fleet. The redirected shot struck a Zarkaf cruiser, tearing through its shields and ripping the ship apart in a spectacular explosion. For a moment, both fleets seemed to pause in shock. It worked, Ilara breathed, her eyes wide with disbelief. Marcus allowed himself a small smile. Good work, Doctor. Now let's press our advantage. All ships, concentrate fire on the Zarkaf flagship. Nebula Horizon will provide cover with the Lightforge system. The battle erupted in earnest, space itself seeming to warp and twist as humanity unleashed its newest weapon. The Nebula Horizon danced through the chaos, its Lightforge system redirecting enemy fire and creating pockets of distorted space that trapped or destroyed Zarkaf ships. But the aliens were quick to adapt. They began using scattershot tactics, firing from multiple angles to overwhelm the Lightforge's ability to redirect. Earth's fleet took heavy losses, ships exploding into silent fireballs against the backdrop of their home planet. We can't keep this up forever, Marcus growled, gripping his command chair as the ship shuddered under enemy fire. We need to end this now. Ilara's mind raced, pushing past exhaustion and fear. The Lightforge, she muttered, an idea forming. Commander, what if we overload the system? Create a massive distortion that could swallow their entire fleet. Marcus's eyes widened. The power requirements would be enormous. We'd be risking a core breach. It's that or certain defeat, Ilara countered. After a moment's hesitation, Marcus nodded. Do it. I'll inform the fleet to pull back. We'll only get one shot at this. As Earth's battered fleet retreated, the Nebula Horizon pushed forward, diving into the heart of the Zarkaf Armada. Ilara rerouted all available power to the Lightforge system, the ship's engines screaming in protest. "On my mark," Marcus commanded, his voice steady despite the chaos around them. 3, 2, 1, now. Ilara slammed her hand down on the activation panel. For a split second, nothing happened. Then, space itself seemed to rupture around the nebula horizon. A massive sphere of distorted space-time expanded outward, engulfing Zarkaf ships by the dozens. The alien vessels twisted and contorted, crushed by overlapping gravitational forces or torn apart by spatial shear. The nebula horizon at the eye of the storm shuddered violently. Warning klaxons blared as systems overloaded and failed. FTL core reaching critical levels, AOIO warned, her usual calm voice tinged with urgency. "Recommend immediate evacuation." "Get us out of here," Marcus ordered, and Ilara complied, pushing the ship's damaged engines to their limit. The nebula horizon limped away from the collapsing distortion field, which continued to expand, consuming more of the Zarkaf fleet. As the human ships regrouped, they watched in awe as the massive spatial distortion finally dissipated, leaving behind a graveyard of twisted alien metal where the mighty Zarkaf Armada had once been. A few surviving enemy ships, seemingly in panic, jumped to FTL, fleeing the solar system. Cheers erupted across the human fleet as the realization of victory set in. On the bridge of the nebula horizon, Ilara slumped in exhaustion, a disbelieving smile on her face. Marcus placed a hand on her shoulder, his expression a mix of pride and wonder. "You did it, Doctor. You've saved Earth." Ilara shook her head. "We all did, Commander. But this is just the beginning. The Zarkaf will be back, and they won't underestimate us again." Marcus nodded sullenly. "True, but we've bought ourselves time, and we've proven that humanity can stand against the greatest threats the universe can throw at us. We'll be ready for them next time." As the fleet began the process of damage assessment and repair, news of the victory spread across Earth. Humanity had faced its first interstellar war and emerged victorious against overwhelming odds. The innovative use of FTL technology had turned the tide, proving that human ingenuity could overcome even the most advanced alien threats. But in the depths of space, the surviving Zarkaf ships carried word of their defeat back to their empire. The humans, once dismissed as primitive and weak, had revealed themselves to be a force to be reckoned with. The galaxy watched with growing interest as a new power began to emerge among the stars. The battle for Earth was over, but the war for humanity's place in the cosmos had only just begun. Galactic ripples. In the months following the Battle of Earth, humanity's victory over the Zarkaf reverberated across the galaxy. The news spread through hidden channels and whispered conversations in the shadowy corners of alien spaceports. A young species, barely out of its cradle, had not only survived an encounter with one of the galaxy's most feared empires, but had emerged victorious. On the newly established Ganymede base, largest of Jupiter's moons, Dr. Ilara Chen stood before a holographic display of the Milky Way. Hundreds of points of light dotted the galactic map, each representing a known alien civilization or point of interest. Fleet Commander Marcus Reeves, now promoted to Admiral, joined her, his weathered face etched with both pride and concern. "Quite a stir we've caused out there," he remarked, gesturing to the map. Ilara nodded, her eyes fixed on the swirling galactic arms. "AOIA has been monitoring alien communications networks. The chatter about Earth has increased exponentially since our victory." As if on cue, the AA's serene voice filled the room. "That is correct, Dr. Chen. I've detected a 732% increase in mentions of Earth and humans across various alien information channels. The general sentiment appears to be a mix of curiosity, admiration, and concern." Marcus raised an eyebrow. "Concern? Indeed, Admiral," AOIA continued. Several established galactic powers seem to view humanity's rapid technological advancement and military prowess as a potential threat to the existing order. Ilara sighed, running a hand through her hair. We've painted a target on our backs. The Zarkaf were just the beginning. Before Marcus could respond, a priority alert flashed across the holographic display. Admiral Zhao Lin's face appeared, his expression grave. Chen, Reeves, we have a situation. An alien vessel has just entered the solar system, broadcasting on all frequencies. They're requesting to speak with Earth's leaders. Marcus and Ilara exchanged worried glances. Zarkaf, Marcus asked. Zhao shook his head. Unknown species. They claim to be representatives of something called the Galactic Conclave. Get to the command center immediately. We may be looking at our second first contact. Within the hour, Earth's top military and scientific leaders had gathered in Ganymede Base's secure command center. The alien ship, a sleek vessel that seemed to shimmer with an opalescent glow, hung in high orbit around Jupiter, just beyond the range of human defenses. A tense silence fell over the room as the communication channel opened. A holographic figure materialized in the center of the command center, a tall, ethereal being with 4 arms and skin that seemed to shift colors like the surface of a soap bubble. Greetings, people of Earth, the alien spoke, its voice a melodious chorus that seemed to come from multiple sources at once. I am Zilvarin, emissary of the Galactic Conclave. We have come to extend an invitation and a warning. Admiral Zhao stepped forward, his posture rigid. I am Admiral Zhao Lin of the United Earth Government. We welcome you in peace and look forward to open dialogue. May I ask the nature of your invitation and warning? Zilvarin's form shimmered, colors rippling across its skin. Your recent victory over the Zarkaf Empire has not gone unnoticed. It is rare for a nascent species to defeat such a formidable foe. The Conclave is intrigued by your potential. The alien's gaze swept across the assembled humans. We invite Earth to send representatives to the Galactic Conclave. There, you may petition for recognition and potentially for membership among the civilized species of our galaxy. Murmurs of excitement rippled through the human leaders, quickly silenced as Zilvarin continued. However, we must also deliver a warning. Your use of faster-than-light technology as a weapon is disturbing. Such applications are strictly regulated by conclave law. Continued development and use of these weapons could lead to severe consequences. Marcus stepped forward, his jaw set. With all due respect, Ambassador Zilvarin, we developed these technologies out of necessity. The Zarkaf attacked us unprovoked. We had no choice but to defend ourselves. Zilvarin's colors darkened slightly. The Conclave understands the need for self-defense, Admiral, but the manipulation of space-time as a weapon poses risks that extend beyond mere conflict. You toy with forces that could unravel the very fabric of our universe. Ilara, unable to contain herself, spoke up. But surely the Conclave must see the potential benefits of our research. The ability to manipulate space-time could revolutionize travel, energy production, even medicine. The alien emissary turned its attention to Ilara, its eyes shimmering with an unreadable emotion. And who might you be, curious one? Dr. Ilara Chen, Chief Science Officer of Earth's FTL Research Division, she replied, standing tall despite her nervousness. Zilvarin seemed to consider her words. Your passion is admirable, Dr. Chen. But passion unchecked by wisdom has led many species down dark paths. The Conclave has seen civilizations tear themselves apart with technologies they were not ready to wield. Admiral Zhao cleared his throat. Ambassador, we appreciate your invitation and heed your warning. However, Earth must reserve the right to defend itself. We cannot simply abandon technologies that have proven vital to our survival. The alien's form rippled, its colors shifting rapidly. A delicate position indeed. Very well. The Conclave extends an invitation for Earth to send a delegation to our next assembly. There, you may present your case and your technologies for review. The conclave will then decide on Earth's status and any potential sanctions or assistance. As the humans process this information, Zilvarin continued, "Be warned, however, your actions have drawn the attention of more than just the conclave. Other powers in the galaxy now view Earth as either a potential ally or a threat to be eliminated. Choose your path carefully, humans. The cosmos can be unforgiving to those who stumble." With that ominous statement, the hologram flickered and vanished, leaving the command center in stunned silence. Admiral Zao was the first to speak. "Well, it seems we've been thrust onto the galactic stage, whether we're ready or not." Opinions. Marcus stepped forward. "We can't ignore this invitation. It's an opportunity to establish diplomatic relations and potentially gain powerful allies." Ilara nodded in agreement. "And access to advanced alien technologies could accelerate our own research exponentially. But we need to be cautious. This galactic conclave clearly has its own agenda." "There's also the matter of these other interested parties," Zhao mused. "We need to be prepared for both diplomatic overtures and potential threats." As the discussion continued, plans were made to assemble a delegation for the conclave meeting. Earth's finest diplomats, scientists, and military minds would be chosen to represent humanity on the galactic stage. Meanwhile, in a secret facility beneath the Marianas Trench, work continued on Project Lightforge and other FTL weapon systems. Humanity had tasted victory against the stars, and they weren't about to give up their hard-won advantages. As news of the alien contacts spread across Earth, a mixture of hope and apprehension gripped the planet. Humanity stood on the threshold of a new era, ready to take its place among the stars. But the path ahead was fraught with danger, and the consequences of their choices would echo across the cosmos. The galaxy watched and waited, as the upstart humans prepared to make their mark on the grand tapestry of interstellar civilization. The Zarkaf counterstrike. The gleaming spires of New Geneva rose against the Martian sky, a testament to humanity's resilience and ambition. In the 2 years since the Battle of Earth, the Red Planet had been transformed into a bustling hub of human expansion and innovation. It was here, in a high-security complex at the heart of the city, that Earth's delegation to the Galactic Conclave was making its final preparations. Dr. Elara Chen stood before a mirror, adjusting the collar of her formal uniform. The insignia of the United Earth Space Command glinted on her chest, a reminder of how far humanity had come and how far they still had to go. A gentle chime announced a visitor. "Enter," Ilara called out, turning to see Admiral Marcus Reeves stride into the room, his face etched with concern. "Doctor, we have a problem," Marcus said without preamble. "Long-range sensors have detected a massive buildup of Zarkaf forces at the edge of our solar system. It seems they're not taking their defeat lying down." Ilara's heart sank. "But the conclave meeting has been postponed," Marcus finished. "The Zarkaf have lodged a formal complaint with the conclave, accusing Earth of violating galactic laws on weapons of mass destruction. They're using it as a pretext for a full-scale invasion." Ilara's mind raced. "They're trying to eliminate us before we can gain the conclave's protection. Clever." Marcus nodded grimly. "We need to buy time. Our fleets are still outgunned and outnumbered. Please tell me Project Phoenix is ready." A small smile played at the corners of Ilara's lips. "As a matter of fact, Admiral, I was about to call you. We've just completed the final tests. It's time to show the Zarkaf what humanity is truly capable of." Within hours, the command center of the Martian Defense Hub was a flurry of activity. Holographic displays showed the approaching Zarkaf armada, a force 3 times the size of the fleet that had attacked Earth. Admiral Zhou Lin's weathered face appeared on the main screen. "The Security Council has given the go-ahead for Operation Firebird. Godspeed, all of you. The fate of our species rests in your hands." As the transmission ended, Marcus turned to Ilara. "Doctor, it's your show now. Let's see what this Phoenix can do." Ilara nodded, her fingers dancing across the control panel. Initiating Project Phoenix. AOIA, begin the activation sequence. The A's calm voice filled the room. Acknowledged, Dr. Chen. Powering up the Phoenix array. Estimated time to full capacity, 15 minutes. On screens around the command center, a network of satellites orbiting Mars began to glow with an eerie blue light. These were no ordinary satellites. Each housed a miniaturized version of the Lightforge system, capable of generating precise, targeted spatial distortions. As the Zarkaf fleet entered the solar system, humanity's defensive fleets moved to engage. But unlike their previous encounter, Earth's ships didn't form a defensive line. Instead, they executed a complex series of maneuvers, weaving in and out of formation in an intricate dance. The Zarkaf, expecting an easy victory, pressed their attack. Their energy weapons lanced out, seeking to overwhelm Earth's seemingly disorganized defenses. Phoenix Array at full power, AOIA announced. Awaiting your command, Dr. Chen. Ilara took a deep breath. Activate the Phoenix protocol, targeting parameters as discussed. The effect was immediate and breathtaking. The space around the human fleet shimmered and warped. Zarkaf energy beams bent and twisted, missing their targets entirely. Some were even redirected back at the alien ships, causing explosions within their own ranks. But this was just the beginning. The Phoenix Array satellites pulsed in unison, creating a vast, interlocking network of spatial distortions throughout the battlefield. Human ships slipped through these distortions, appearing to teleport across vast distances in the blink of an eye. The Zarkaf fleet fell into disarray, unable to effectively target the rapidly moving human vessels. Their tight formations, once a strength, now became a liability as spatial anomalies tore through their ranks, shredding ships caught in overlapping distortion fields. In the Martian command center, Marcus watched the battle unfold with a mixture of awe and trepidation. It's working, he breathed. But at what cost? Ilara's face was illuminated by the glow of her console, her expression a mask of intense concentration. We're pushing the boundaries of physics here, Admiral. The energy requirements are enormous, and we're generating levels of spatial distortion that were previously only theoretical. As if to underscore her point, alarms began to blare. Aria's voice took on a note of urgency. Warning. Detecting cascading spatial anomalies beyond the targeted areas. Recommend immediate shutdown of the Phoenix Array. Ilara's eyes widened as she saw the data scrolling across her screen. The distortions are spreading faster than we anticipated. If we don't stop now, we could tear a hole in the fabric of space-time itself. Marcus didn't hesitate. Shut it down, Doctor. Now. Ilara's fingers flew across the controls, initiating the emergency shutdown sequence. The Phoenix Array satellites began to power down, their blue glow fading. But the damage was done. As the human fleet regrouped, they watched in horror as a massive spatial rift began to form at the heart of the battlefield. Zarkaf and human ships alike were drawn towards the growing anomaly, unable to escape its gravitational pull. AOIA analysis, Marcus demanded. The A's response was grim. The rift appears to be a tear in the space-time continuum. It's acting as a portal, but to where I cannot say. Sensors are unable to penetrate beyond the event horizon. As they watched, the rift swallowed the remains of the Zarkaf fleet, along with a significant portion of Earth's defensive force. Then, as suddenly as it had appeared, the rift collapsed in on itself, leaving behind nothing but empty space and scattered debris. A stunned silence fell over the command center. Ilara slumped in her chair, the weight of what had just transpired crashing down on her. "What have we done?" she whispered. Marcus placed a hand on her shoulder. "We did what we had to do to survive, Doctor. But you're right, this changes everything." In the days that followed, the consequences of the battle became clear. The Zarkaf invasion had been repelled, but at a terrible cost. The spatial rift, though no longer visible, had left behind a region of space where the laws of physics behaved erratically. Travel through the area was deemed too dangerous, effectively cutting off a large swath of the solar system. More worryingly, long-range sensors detected similar anomalies forming in other parts of the galaxy. It seemed that the use of the Phoenix array had triggered a chain reaction, the full extent of which was yet to be understood. As news of the battle spread, Earth received an urgent communication from the Galactic Conclave. The message was brief but clear. Your presence is required immediately. The fate of your species, and perhaps the galaxy itself, hangs in the balance. Humanity had won the battle, but the war, both military and diplomatic, was far from over. As Ilara and Marcus prepared to face the judgment of the Conclave, they couldn't shake the feeling that they had opened a Pandora's box, the consequences of which would reshape the very fabric of the universe. The galaxy held its breath, waiting to see what the upstart humans would do next. A new era dawns. The Galactic Conclave's Grand Chamber was a marvel of alien architecture, a vast dome that seemed to exist in multiple dimensions at once. Representatives from hundreds of species filled the tiered seating, their murmurs creating a cacophony of alien languages. At the center of it all stood Dr. Ilara Chen and Admiral Marcus Reeves, Earth's chosen representatives. They faced the Conclave's High Council, a panel of the galaxy's most ancient and powerful species. Zilvarin, the ethereal being who had first contacted Earth, floated at the forefront of the council. Its skin rippled with dark, stormy colors as it addressed the chamber. We are gathered here to address the actions of humanity, the newest spacefaring species to make their mark on our galaxy. Zilvarin's melodious voice resonated through the chamber. Their use of faster-than-light technology as a weapon has caused unprecedented damage to the fabric of space-time itself. The question before us is clear. How shall we respond to this threat? Murmurs of agreement rippled through the assembled aliens. From the Zarkaf delegation came shouts of punishment and containment. Marcus stepped forward, his voice steady despite the pressure. Esteemed members of the Conclave, we understand the gravity of our actions, but I ask you to consider the circumstances that led us to this point. We are a young species, thrust into a conflict we neither sought nor understood. We used every tool at our disposal to survive. Ilara joined him, her eyes scanning the alien faces around them. Moreover, the technology we developed has potential far beyond weaponry. We believe that with guidance and cooperation, we can harness this power for the benefit of all species. A hulking reptilian alien leaned forward, its scales gleaming under the chamber's light. Pretty words, humans, but actions speak louder. Your reckless use of space-time manipulation has created rifts that threaten travel and commerce across multiple sectors. How do you propose to fix this mess you've created? Ilara took a deep breath. This was the moment they had prepared for. We have a plan, she said, activating a holographic display. Using a refined version of our Lightforge technology, we believe we can seal the rifts and stabilize the affected areas of space. The hologram showed a simulation of the process, specially equipped ships using controlled spatial distortions to knit together the fabric of space-time. Furthermore, Ilara continued, we propose a joint research initiative. By combining our innovations with the advanced knowledge of the Conclave, we can develop safeguards and explore beneficial applications of this technology. The chamber erupted in a mixture of skepticism and intrigue. Zilvarin raised a hand, silencing the crowd. An interesting proposal, Dr. Chen. But why should we trust humans with such power again? What assurances can you offer? Marcus stepped forward once more. We offer ourselves, he said firmly. Earth will submit to Conclave oversight of all future FTL research and development. We ask in return for protection against aggressors like the Zarkaf and the opportunity to earn our place among the galactic community. The Zarkaf representative, a hulking warrior covered in bioluminescent markings, roared in protest. This is outrageous. The humans should be punished, not rewarded. Silence. Zilvarin's voice cut through the Zarkaf's tirade. It seems to me that the Zarkaf Empire's unprovoked aggression played no small part in pushing humanity to these extremes. Perhaps it is time for the Conclave to re-evaluate more than just Earth's status. The Zarkaf representatives sputtered in indignation, but fell silent under Zilveran's penetrating gaze. For what seemed like an eternity, the High Council conferred in private, their deliberations shielded by a field of shifting energy. Finally, Zilveran turned back to address the chamber. "The Conclave has reached a decision," it announced. "Humanity's actions, while grave, were born of desperation and a lack of understanding of galactic law. We choose to view this as an opportunity rather than a transgression." A ripple of surprise ran through the chamber as Zilveran continued. "Earth will be granted provisional membership in the Galactic Conclave, with full rights and protections therein. In return, they will lead the efforts to repair the spatial anomalies their weapons have caused under Conclave supervision. Furthermore, a joint research initiative will be established to explore safe applications of their faster-than-light manipulation technology." The chamber erupted in a mixture of cheers, protests, and heated discussions. Zilveran raised its hands, calling for silence once more. "Let this be a lesson to all species, young and old. The cosmos is vast and full of wonders, but also dangers. It is through cooperation and understanding that we navigate its mysteries, not through aggression and fear." As the session adjourned, Ilara and Marcus found themselves surrounded by curious alien diplomats, eager to discuss potential collaborations and exchanges of knowledge. Amidst the chaos, Zilveran approached them, its colors now a serene, swirling blue. "You have been given a rare opportunity, humans. The path ahead will not be easy, but it holds great promise. Use this chance wisely." Ilara nodded, a mixture of relief and determination in her eyes. "We will, Ambassador. Humanity has much to learn, but also much to offer. We won't let you down." Marcus added, "And perhaps in time, we can help forge a more peaceful galaxy for all species." As they prepared to return to Earth with news of their success, Ilara and Marcus couldn't help but feel the weight of responsibility on their shoulders. They had secured humanity's place among the stars, but the real work was just beginning. In the years that followed, Earth became a hub of interstellar cooperation and innovation. The spatial rifts were gradually repaired, and the light-forged technology, under careful conclave oversight, led to breakthroughs in energy production, medical science, and space exploration. The galaxy watched in fascination as humanity, the upstart species that had dared to weaponize faster-than-light travel, became instrumental in ushering in a new era of peace and discovery. Yet, as ships bearing the flags of 100 worlds docked at Earth's orbital stations, and alien exchange students walked the campuses of human universities, a question lingered in the minds of many. What other impossible feats would these humans attempt next, and how would it reshape the destiny of the cosmos? As the stars wheeled overhead, humanity looked to the future with a mixture of excitement and trepidation. Their journey among the stars had only just begun, and the greatest adventures and challenges still lay ahead. The universe, vast and mysterious, awaited their next move.